All right, you guys are going to want to listen up. What if I told you there was a way to close 20 deals this year without picking up the phone? Would you want to hear about that?
Heck yes.
Okay. Well, I'd be lying to you. You have to pick up the phone. But today we're going to talk about hooks and why they're really important and how they can start those conversations with people. So, to begin with, maybe give me like a raise your hand or whatever in the chat or on video here. How many of you guys know what a hook is or think you know what a hook is? So hooks are really, I mean, at the core of it, hooks are pattern interrupts. They're a way to interrupt either the scroll, a conversation, get people to stop and say, wait, what did they say? And kind of tune in. So in today's world, we are just flooded with so much information. And I think they say now you have less than 1.7 seconds to get someone's attention, especially on Facebook. They're just scrolling fast, and you've got to figure out ways how to stop that scroll. And even in person, as we're having conversations, if you're trying to get someone, whether it's on a phone call or in person, whether you're trying to get them to tap in, you've got a very short time frame to keep their attention, to get them to really hone in and dial in before they're kind of zoning out or hanging up the phone. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about hooks, what they are, how to develop really good hooks, and just help you have more conversations, get more engagement on your social media posts, and ultimately get more business. So the hook is really an opening line or something that draws people in. And there's a couple different types of hooks. There's visual hooks. So I talk with my hands a lot. That actually comes like as a benefit when it comes to videos because the movement can be a hook. You'll notice that a lot of people use when they're doing videos, they're zooming in and out and over, and there's a lot of movement. That is a visual hook. It's moving to try to keep that attention and hook people in. Um, there's text hooks, so that could be just a text in your post, that could be text overlay on your video, but something that catches their attention. And then there's audio hooks, like what I just did, how I just threw out a random, you know, something to get your attention by what I said. And when you're thinking about hooks, I'll ultimately the goal is get them to stop, get their brain out of that kind of lackadaisical, whatever mode, right? And just tune in and want to hear what you have to say. There's a psychology behind hooks, and there's really three things that you're trying to do. You're either trying to address a pain point that they have, to help them find pleasure, or to create curiosity. So I think you guys have probably seen this a lot lately, and there's a lot of creators that do this. They will start out instead of starting their videos with, "Hi, this is Michelle with Midwest Dream Team." They're going to just go right into that 1-2 punch. And so they're going to say something like, "I just lost a deal and it's going to cost me $10,000," or like something really big that is someone else can relate to. Um, So it might be something, even as silly as when I got my first listing, I cried in the car. So just something that's going to get them to tap in either emotionally, curiosity based, or they know they need to tap in because they're going to get some kind of value from you. So now that I've kind of talked about just high level what hooks are, how many of you guys feel like you actually know what hooks are, or you've heard this in your day to day scrolling or conversation with people? Perfect. Have you guys heard of, if you've been on our calls, you've heard of this because Matt talks about this a lot too, but like, have you heard of pattern interrupts? There's a um, NLP. It's a type of um, conversation, is it neuro linguistic programming? And they talk about that a lot. It's the pattern interrupt. So you're saying things to get people to the things that they wouldn't expect. So, for instance, one line that we use when we are on calls with FISBOs is, don't worry, I'm not calling to list your home. Or a really good one is, I bet you're really tired of hearing from real estate agents. I bet you're really tired of all the calls that you're getting, just like attacking that elephant in the room and calling it out front because they're expecting you to sell to them. And that's essentially what a good hook line does, is it uses those same techniques to just disrupt and get people to tune in. So I thought it might be fun today if we play a little game of what could we do for hooks, and just really generate some ideas of hooks we can use for our videos, our posts, all of that fun stuff. So let's go with, we all have listings, right? Or buyers, but we'll eventually, hopefully, all have listings. So let's roll with a listing. We've got a listing that is in a high-end neighborhood with a golf course. What are some things that we might be able to do to cause a little bit of disruption versus just saying, just listed or check out my new listing? What are some things we could do to really advertise that listing and stop the scroll?
Um, well, like instead of just listed, something like tee up your best home life, then with your little golf, something eye-catching that's different and something about golf, something about home, and something that's like, wait a minute, what's that one about?
Yeah, you guys did that actually. I didn't pick this one on purpose, but you guys did a really good job of that recently with your listing on a golf course where Kevin made some really awesome swings with his golf club and took it, like, hit it off to the golf course. That was a good one. Matt.
Hi guys, I am in between a couple big appointments here, so I'm off camera. However, there was this one agent on TikTok and Instagram. She went pretty viral using a really fun technique where she would have her microphone and whisper in it and say, "Come play hide and seek with me in this home." And she would be like in the living room behind the curtain talking about like the home, and she would go into the kitchen and be like in the pantry, and like she would literally just take you through and do the home tour while playing hide and seek whispering. So that was a really cool pattern interrupt that got her pretty viral.
We love that one. That was already one that Rochelle tagged me in and said, we need to do this.
I need to come up with my own creative idea. I just can't figure out what it is yet.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
what,
know why I stopped doing can test fit in these tiny places in people's houses, like under the sink and under the bathtub and little chest in the closet. That was pretty
Okay,
entertaining.
that's amazing. You should do more of that for sure.
yeah, the weirder you are, the more unusual you are, the better the videos tend to perform. You got to get comfortable getting uncomfortable for sure.
I got the weirdness down.
All right, what are some other thoughts? Do you guys have any for, we've got this luxury listing on a golf course. What might be some ways that we could? I'm thinking like a visual hook. A great visual hook would be just literally teeing off in the front yard and acting like it's going to hit the window. Or
Where
having
you
like,
swing and fall down.
yeah. Or, even something as simple as you don't need a membership to enjoy this kind of luxury.
If you're gonna do the tee off one, tee off like Happy Gilmore.
Oh, I like it. I like it. It'd be even better if you dressed like him. Just totally did a full Happy Gilmore.
It would be really cool if you had them facing the front door and you had somebody swing and then you cut directly to like a drone shot going as fast as it could through the front door and then
Oh,
start doing a tour or like a gimbal tour of the home.
I
And then
love
maybe
it.
putting from one room to the other and like continuing the theme of moving the camera with the ball. It's like a point of view. Like the ball is the tour.
I have a love-hate relationship with the comment you just did because I know as soon as I hang up this phone, Rochelle's gonna say, let's go reshoot our video in Pella. But that's a great idea.
Yeah, you gotta quit giving me ideas because I'm like, I want to do videos the rest of my week now.
Yeah. I suppose even just starting, like if they're behind, if they're at, like let's say they're at hole number one, hole number two, whatever, like you're not going to believe what's behind this hole. You could start at the golf course with that comment. So
Or
just
what if you just showed like the basic functions of the house, like the kitchen, the sink, the silver, whatever, and every time like you shut the door or whatever, there's just a gallery of people clapping like you're on a putting green,
I love that. I love that.
and you're like, what the heck? And you're like, when you're this close to the action, you can't help but feel like a pro.
I think can we just pay to consult with you before we shoot our videos, please?
This is Matt GPT live.
Yes. Oh. We use a lot of like a lot of our videos, a lot of the hooks that we do for our posts, pretty much everything that we do, we run through Chat GPT first. You can train your GPT to understand and sound like you. You can tell it how crazy you want to be. You can tell it if you want a visual hook, if you want an audio hook, if you want um, a text hook. Um, just use Chat GPT to your advantage. A lot of times I'll tell it to give me like 5 or 10 ideas because I don't always like the ideas that they have. But if I have it give me 5 or 10, then it can come up with a multitude of ideas and I can usually pick something that I really like.
Okay, I got one more because I can't let it go. It's in my head, right? All right. So what if you and Rochelle had like headsets on, like you were the announcers, and you're literally just announcing Kevin walking through the home doing normal things, but you're whispering like the golf announcer, like,
Ooh,
and just
we could take advantage of the whisper and it makes sense and we're not copying someone. Really.
yeah, like you're just sitting at a desk, like shoulder to shoulder with like a little backdrop of like a green, and yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's enough. That's all I got.
I love it. I love it. Okay, well, let's switch gears to buyers, right? I'm sure we all have buyers of some sort, or we'll have buyers. So let's think about we want to attract renters that we want to become buyers. What would be a good hook?
I'm thinking of a visual where like a Facebook reel or something where like I'm stuffing just hundreds of dollars back into my pocket because I'm not paying the landlord and or sorry, that was way visual. And or like the whole myth of 20% down. Like keep your money in your pockets.
I love that. I love that. Uh, I think you could go off of something too with like breaking up. Have some sort of like it's not me or it's not me, it's the rent. We're breaking up. I don't know, something silly like that. Have some breakup where you're just packing up all your stuff and getting ready to move out.
What
Um,
if
yeah,
isn't like the NFL draft coming soon? When's that happening again? When's the draft?
I'm sure Audra knows.
It's usually around like the 18th to the 20th of April, right around there.
Okay, so what if you just have like a random person that's a renter that's being drafted by the house, and so like in the third round of the 2025 draft, 1234 Main Street selects the Smiths. Congratulations!
That's a good one too. I love it. Matt, are you going to be like offering your hook writing services here as one of your coaching programs?
Yeah, we're just gonna open up like a marketing boutique, like agency.
This is the fun part of the job. Rochelle and I talk about this all the time. Like, if we could just, if houses could just sell themselves and we could just have fun and do reels and, do fun things all day, that'd be awesome. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Anybody else have some ideas for hooks for renters?
I'm thinking I've never been to one of those rage rooms, but if one was if somebody knows of one that's designed like a that looks like a apartment inside or something, you could film yourself doing beating it up and say hey to your landlord, you know,
Yeah.
That's
and then
awesome.
yeah, and then it just give people like a good feeling about buying.
Yeah. Or your rent going up again. Like,
And then you're like
yeah.
hitting it with a bat, hitting the lamps with a bat or something in a room,
That's awesome.
the walls.
That's awesome. We should all have like
Yeah,
the
you
best videos after
Maybe
this.
and going with that motif, like maybe like doing a play on Office Space and having like Lundberg come in and be like, I'm gonna need that rent early this weekend, okay? Uh, and then cut to just smashing the house up.
Yeah, definitely.
you mentioned the Rage Room, and the company here in town, Jefferson City, had a rage room, but the other business that they own is an escape room, and I think that could probably be a pretty good motif for renters getting into houses, escape the rent trap.
I love it. Maybe Wednesday should just be our social creativity day. We all come up with a I need these posts. Everybody help me come up with some really good ideas.
Workshop Wednesday.
Workshop Wednesday. The other thing that you can use hooks for too is it's not just social media. You know, we kind of talked about using a hook in your phone conversations or pattern interrupt in your phone conversations, your conversations with people face to face, but you can also use it in your mailers and your postcards. You know, how many of us get junk mail all the time and just throw it away? So how do you stop and get someone to actually look at that postcard and get your point across? So one of the ones that I've done before when I'm farming a neighborhood where I've had a listing sell or actually when I've had like just listeds, I like to do like it has a face that is like an oh my oh shit face, like you're not going to believe this, and it says you're not going to believe what your neighbors just did. And then on the back it says they listed their home, want to know what your home is worth, blah blah blah. But I think there can be some really fun things you can do with postcards too to kind of stop the scroll. So let's roll with that. If you guys do any of you guys do farming? Do any of you guys farm neighborhoods or Matt? I don't know if you're farming or have something to say.
No, we did a campaign for renters with some chunky mail. Have you ever heard of chunky mail?
No.
You put something in with the letter. So we did like sticks of gum or mints, and so the letter comes in and there's something in it. And when they open it, the very first line at the top is throwing your money away on rent, leaving a bad taste in your mouth.
That's
That
awesome.
was the hook, and then the mint or the gum got it open, and we got several calls back from that campaign.
I like that. That'd be a good pop by too. That would be awesome. Okay, so is anybody else farming neighborhoods at all for buyers or sellers? Does anybody do mailers of any sort, or are y'all just like social media and phone calls or pop buys?
I've been doing a few mailers lately. Um,
What
just
have you
kind
been
of
targeting?
the last one I did, I emailed or not email, but sent a postcard to my sphere with QR code for reviews, asking for reviews, and I did that. And then I got other homes that should probably be on the market to be sold. They've been vacant for a long time, that kind of thing. Reaching out to those folks.
Yeah, what do you guys do for if you've got buyers you can't find properties? Do you any of you ever do mailers or door knocking to try to see if anybody would be like circle prospecting around certain areas where they want to be? Anybody do that?
I don't do mailers for that. I pick up the phone, and that's the one time probably you will hear me cold call is if I have a buyer, I can't find it, then I'm going to pick up the phone and start calling the neighborhood for that.
So let's play on that, Audra. Um, what what would be something that you could start that conversation to get them not to hang up from the beginning?
Usually I'm y'all know me. Calling to try to make friends with the person on the other end of the line. So I call them, I tell them who I am, and I'm like, "Hey, I've got this crazy thing that I want to ask you. Just something just very random, probably not something you're thinking about right now, but I have somebody looking for something very specific, XYZ in this area. I know you're probably not thinking about this, but I'm just curious if the price was right, if we could get an offer for X on your home, would you consider selling your home?" But I just kind of started off very like, hey, this is crazy. I've got something really
Yep.
kind of crazy and off the wall to ask. And they're like, what are you gonna ask me? I don't know you. But that usually helps instead of, hey, this is Audra with EXP. I'm just curious, would you like to sell your home?
Yeah,
Just do something to disarm them and make them relax a little bit. Pattern interrupt.
I love that. I think that's a great pattern interrupt. One of the simplest pattern interrupts is to say their name and pause. Because when a telemarketer calls, usually they go right into, um, is this so and so? So they ask them that question to verify who they are. And people are trained to know telemarketer, boop. So if you go into it and you know their name and you're like, John, like you know them with an upswing, like, John, hey, this is Michelle with EXP. I know this is going to sound really crazy, but I have some buyers looking in your area. Would you consider selling your home? Probably use Audra's script. It was a little bit better than would you consider selling a home? But like that whole going and just saying their name with an upswing and a pause is a pattern interrupt that can work for calls with people because they're not, if you go into it right away and saying, hey, this is Audra with EXP Realty, and then go into your spiel, a lot of times you've already lost them in those however many seconds it takes to announce yourself.
In the line from know what to say and when to say it, this may not be for you, but
That's a great one because it creates curiosity and they're like, how do you know it's not for me? What do you
Yeah.
mean? I want
Why?
to
Why
know.
can't that
Is it
be for
working?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you trying to leave me out? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. If you guys haven't, I know we push this all the time. Exactly What to Say for Real Estate Agents is a great book. Never Split the Difference, Full Fee Agent. All of those have like uh, great scripts on pattern interrupts and things that can really get people to think differently. So, anybody have anything else? How many of y'all are going to go out and write some really awesome video scripts or make some really awesome posts after this?
Mhm. I'll go do
Love
some.
to see them. Feel free to tag us in them. We would love to see them and give you some love on those. But really get creative, have fun. If you're brave enough, put some things out there that might be a little bit controversial. With those one-liners, those are going to get you all the attention that you need and really get your scroll, people to stop the scroll and pay attention what you have. All right. If you guys don't have anything else, I guess we'll be done a few minutes early here, but we will see you guys on Friday for Freestyle Friday. If you guys have any challenges this week, make sure to bring them to Freestyle Friday and we'll work through those with you.
thank
Have a
you.
good day, guys.
Bye.